Colin Wilson's a infinitely more experienced opponent, but you see the weigh-ins. Linderman cut weight to come down to 204. Colin Wilson weighed fully clothed, pants and shirt on, at 200 pounds. If size matters, if strength matters, Linderman should have that strength advantage. I do want to point out, Linderman has the state wrestling championship. Look at those ears, real clean. Colin Wilson's mangled up. He knows how to wrestle as well. And if he can keep this fight standing, he's going to make it really interesting.
Yeah, a lot of intrigue in this one. Wilson has been very active. He had 5 fights during the calendar year of 2024. Linderman's only fought 2 times amateur in his career. Something's got to give between these 2 talented martial artists, and the result will be a new Aries Fight Series light heavyweight champion.
Amateur MMA battle is set for 5 3-minute rounds, and it is for the currently vacant Aries Fight Series light heavyweight title. Introducing first, he's fighting out of the blue corner. He steps into the cage tonight with a record of 6 wins and 3 losses. His height, 5 feet 11 inches, and his weight, 200.2 pounds. He trains with Cage Fit, and he fights out of Auburn, Alabama. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, Colin Wilson! And now his opponent across the cage and fighting out of the red corner. He steps into the cage tonight at a height of 6 feet even, having weighed in at 204 pounds. He trains with FBS Combat, and he fights out of Knoxville, Tennessee. And tonight, in the Aries Fight Series cage, he presents to you an undefeated record of 2 wins and 0 losses. Ladies and gentlemen, they call him the Monster of God. This is Trevor Linderman! Your referee for this fight will be Big Luke Wilson.
Hard to say who's getting the biggest pop from the crowd tonight. Like, it just seems like the next fighter keeps coming out, the next one. The place just keeps getting more rambunctious.
Well, just wait till the pro portion here. You've got Tennessee Volunteer, Chief Beast, our co-main event, but these guys are getting right after it here, Linderman and Wilson.
Nice high kick there by Wilson. And again, we expect Wilson to maybe have a striking advantage, but this is the game changer. This is the great equalizer. Linderman landed a couple good leg kicks, and then as soon as he wants this thing on the ground, he just is able to just topple his opponent over.
Curious to see if Wilson's able to get up here without Linderman smothering him. Linderman's just been so dominant.
Yeah, and this is a bad place to be. Up against the cage, he's got one hook in. He's going to just look to hip ride him, really wear on him. And as soon as he starts to free this right hand, that's when you're going to see the ground and pound. There you go.
Good job by Wilson to get to his feet momentarily.
2 hooks now, and I'd hate to feel that squeeze that Linderman's got if he grabs your neck a minute into the fight while he's still fresh. Oh, look at this. He's got a wrist ride on the far side. Now he's just going to switch over the double leg. Very nice that he's able to transition between his techniques and just really assert his dominance in these positions. Right back on top, right to side control. And then he looks like he's going to probably step through, look to isolate one of those arms. But yeah, kudos to Wilson. He's not accepting the positions. He's trying to get to his hip. He's trying to create space. He's not just lying flat on his back. But the more he exerts energy and moves, the more tired he's going to get. And when you're tired and you have Linderman on top of you, that could be a bad spot.
We've never seen Linderman extended, though, into, this is a 5-round fight here for a title potentially. So it'll be interesting to see if a finish doesn't materialize early for Linderman, if he can carry this level of aggression throughout the bout.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you see Wilson backed up to his feet. Now, Linderman does have a standing guillotine choke, but these are very hard to finish unless you can get your back off the cage and really torque it. But you see, digs an underhook, reverses position, ankle pick to a single leg. That's chain wrestling 101. He's able to mix it up. Not only is he a state champion, he's also an All-American wrestler, and you really see that comfort that he has in these transitions.
Wilson here has got a vicious up kick on his mind. He's gone for it a couple times. Linderman right into the guard of Wilson.
Yeah, Linderman not really having much success advancing position. He can get the fight to the ground, but not really able to pass. Oh, it's an ill-advised move to drop back on a leg lock. See, Wilson's going to get top position now. He's landing punches. He's going to get on top. You should not drop back for a leg lock and give up a dominant position.
He's
eating shots. And this is the trade-off. You can't defend yourself when you've got two hands on the guy's leg. That's a small tactical error that you're going to make when you're an amateur and you're young, but he needs to learn from that and realize when you're on a dominant position, like you don't give it up.
Significant strike statistics there on the graphic. You see Wilson has actually got the striking advantage. And man, that was the most damage we've seen Linderman sustain. Cody, what was he hunting for there? It was kind of it wasn't a heel hook. He was trying to extend maybe some kind of leg lock.
Yeah, it looked like a straight ankle lock, which, I mean, he's so physically strong. If he could get that leg straightened out, I mean, he probably could apply a lot of torque on it. But you're not taking on an 0-0 guy. You're not taking on Brock Walker. You're taking on a 6-3 credible amateur that's waiting for that one moment that you give him. When you look at that round, Linderman absolutely dominated 75% of that first round. Yeah. Multiple takedowns, good top position, riding him, not taking any damage. He made that mistake by dropping for the leg lock, and all of the damage of the round came in the last portion. And now, to be honest with you, I don't know who won it. It's a very strong case that Wilson did based on the damage criteria.
100%, and you got to remember, Wilson has fought 4 titles in other promotions before. He's been in 5-round wars for a belt on the line. Linderman's never been out of round 1. We're going to see what Linderman looks like in round 2 for the first time. And to your point, Cody, he did sustain a lot of damage there at the end of round number 1.
Yeah, showing a little bit of bruising under the left eye. But I would imagine he's not going to waste much time here. You know, just he needs to get that takedown. He's got a good right hand on him. I'll give him that. Very strong guy, big, heavy leg kicks. But the path of least resistance is going to be get on top of Wilson and neutralize him, because he's dangerous when he's throwing hands. And look, he's getting through with these rights.
Wilson landed a nice strike there moments ago. This is the most adversity we've seen Linderman deal with in his young career.
And it's a 5-round fight, so honestly, it's only going to get more exerting and taxing on the body as it goes on. Wilson now leaning on Linderman. Wilson now, you know, trying to dig an underhook and try to kind of lean on the bigger guy, which we didn't really see that coming in. But as the fight starts to play out and energy starts to decrease, Wilson's having a lot more success.
Oh, nice takedown there from Linderman via trip. Now he's dealing with the guillotine.
And it's tight. It's tight. He has full body control. If he can slip this left leg out and connect his legs, he's really going to be able to wrench back on this. He's got to worry that he doesn't overexert himself. But this is an excellent position.
Yeah, Luke Wilson's taking a long look, just making sure that Linderman doesn't go out here from a blood choke.
Yeah, well, you'd have to put him out, because in front of his hometown fans and his family, I just don't see him tapping unless you're going to break his arm or choke him unconscious. And in this instance, more of a blood choke, but never really had the position on Linderman. And now Linderman's where he wants to be. He needs to neutralize him and hold this for the next 90 seconds. Stay on top. Passing guard's good, but just give a little bit of ground and pound. Make sure you secure this round and then move on to the next one. Hunting for a finish here is only going to spend more of that cardio, and he's still got 3 more rounds to go after this one. Nice up kick by Wilson.
It's we've seen a couple of up kicks tonight, all of them with very bad intention. Some nice ground and pound there from Linderman.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to upset the beast, then that's what's going to happen. You give him an up kick, that's fair. When he gets on top of you, he's going to return some of that favoritism and a couple nice hammer fists. This is how Linderman fans envision the fight going for him, is that he'd be able to get these takedowns and really start to assert his will and his domination. The first round, Wilson never got up. It was Linderman gave him that position. As long as Linderman doesn't do that, he can have a lot of success just chipping away, body, head, putting dividends in, slowly breaking the guy down. And because it's 5 rounds, then I think in the 4th and the 5th round, then you open up and try to really put him away.
Well, to your point, if round 1 was scored for Wilson, this is great visuals, great optics, and a great way for Linderman to get things back to even footing through 2, as we have about 15 seconds left here in round number 2.
Yeah, and a round that you would have to score for Linderman. He got the takedown, he got the position he wanted, and so far, I mean, Wilson's really had no answer so far outside of an up kick.
Every time Linderman has a significant action, his fan base gets vocal. Let's take a look at a replay on this takedown here, Cody.
Yeah, I mean, again, he goes single leg and then he goes to the outside trip. So he's good at disrupting your balance. He's so physically strong that he can at least lift one leg off. And then as you're hopping on one, that's when he can just kick it out from under you. I really think it's neat as well that Trevor Linderman's cornered by his wife, and she's got his back through everything. She's always there with him. She's always kind of, making sure everything's taken care of. And I think it'd be a calming and soothing voice to have the people that really, truly love you in your corner. He's fighting for something beyond a title belt. He's fighting for something beyond an amateur victory. He's fighting for something greater than that. And I think that having that support system around, telling him, hey, Trevor, it's 1-1. It could be 2-0, Trevor. Likely it's probably 1-1.
Yeah.
But let's not think about that. Let's keep doing what we're doing, get those takedowns, and make this thing no questions.
Well, the FBS Combat Corner drew up a winning game plan for Cricket Jones earlier in the night, and now they're really trying to have a big-time celebration here if Linderman could be successful in this title fight. Colin Wilson proving to be the stiffest test of Linderman's young career, and Wilson has got designs on taking home the Aries Fight Series light heavyweight amateur title. Oh, man.
Wilson's like, hey, before you take me down, let me give you a parting favor. But unfortunately, he missed, and this is what Linderman does. Very strong physical specimen. And wrestling wins fights, it's the bottom line.
It does.
We have seen Wilson in the past struggle with these big power wrestlers. That's exactly what he's getting tonight. And the fact that he weighed in at 200 pounds even fully clothed means come fight night, there's a good possibility that Linderman's 15 pounds heavier than him. And it's certainly looking like when they get in these positions, Wilson's just really finding it harder and harder to create that space and kind of shimmy himself out.
Yeah, and we've seen Linderman win fights with a Kimura and here in side control. Maybe that's something he's got designs on doing, although he's taken the back now of Wilson.
Yeah, Kimura's back take to the rear naked choke, those are all safe positions, right? If you don't get the rear naked choke, you're still on his back. If you don't get the Kimura, you're still on top. As long as he's been pitching an excellent fight. Just one small mistake in the first round, and outside of that, Linderman's having his way, and he's doing a really good job in this third round of just completely taking Wilson's momentum away, taking his confidence away. Just got to watch out here that Wilson's going to try to spin into him. He's going to just wait for that 1 minute where Linderman relaxes. And then because they're starting to get a lot sweatier, having this position when you're on the side like that, he could be able to turn in. Easier said than done because you've got a big, strong oak of a man on top of you. However, Wilson so far has shown that he's got a couple tricks up his sleeve and he might be trying to use one.
Wilson, I think, would need to be paying attention to potentially a rear naked or even a neck crank if he's not fully underneath the chin. We've got about 1 minute and 10 seconds left to work here in round number 3 of this 5-round title fight.
Yeah, Wilson trying to use the cage to kind of push himself off, but Linderman wise to it, doing a good job of sticking on his back. And this is where Wilson's got to go. There's 1 minute left in the round. He can't accept this position. He needs to create a scramble right away.
To your point, Cody, it looks like Wilson would like to turn into Linderman, but Linderman's wise to it.
There it goes right there. But yeah, just like you said, and this now puts him in a better position where he's got the full mount. But Wilson continues to scramble, and he goes back to this side position. Back to his back. And there's lots of time left.
Man, Linderman is an animal.
Yeah, real good positional awareness by Linderman, where Wilson's actually doing a great job of really trying to turn into it. But you see the ground control time, almost 2.5 minutes from Linderman of a 3-minute round. So Wilson just, even though he's doing the right things and defensively he's protecting himself, he's not doing himself any favors in the judge's view to actually win this fight. More so just surviving bad positions and getting through for a moral victory.
Well, it's been 2 rounds consecutively that Linderman's got in on a single leg and utilized a trip to basically accelerate a winning game plan of total ground control and hunting submissions. 2 rounds to go, and it's a matter of can Linderman continue to repeatedly implement this game plan. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, he's just got to do it for one of the next 2 rounds, really. I mean, if you're being generous and you give Colin Wilson round 1, and Trevor Linderman rounds 2 and 3, this is still a live fight.
It is.
But Wilson absolutely 100% needs to win the next 2 rounds. And if the last 2 rounds are any indication of how things are going, he's really got his work cut out for him. We do see Linderman, a big guy, never been extended into the later parts of a round, and now he's entering championship territory. It's an unfamiliar territory. No doubt about it, he's tired and he's taxed, but he has a winning mentality and that ability to grind through bad spots. Wilson, meanwhile, he's got heart as well, but one more takedown could be really detrimental.
It could, and you got to believe the Cage Fit team that was just talking to Wilson had to impart some of the same points that you just brought up, Cody.
Linderman with a front kick. You know what? He's been showing glimpses of his striking. He's got, again, big, heavy low kicks on the outside. Oh, and a right hand from Wilson. But Linderman, more than just a tough guy, he's got a tough chin. He just took that like nothing.
This is going to be huge right here. Linderman obviously going to try and clasp his hands or get in on a single leg and secure a takedown. Takes the back, and ooh, this is a tough position for Wilson now.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this the last rounds 2 and round 3. It's like once he gets to the ground, he's able to take the back. Once he's on the back, he can really just neutralize his positions. Wilson did an excellent job the last round of keeping scrambling, trying to turn on top. He just was unsuccessful. He's going to have to do the same thing and hope that Linderman either makes a mistake or is tired. But sitting here with a man on your back, landing small punches, time is just ticking away with 205, 204, 203. He's quickly running out of time if he's going to win this fight. So there's no problem with protecting yourself and not getting hurt. That's all solid stuff, and that's the base of martial arts. But if he wants that amateur title around his waist, he's really going to have to show a desperation mode.
Well, and to that point, Linderman's showing some aggression there, moving his right leg up almost to suggest that he's going to hunt in on an arm bar or try and trap an arm of Wilson's against. I mean, if he isolates an arm in addition to this leg lock, you'd have a much easier time trying to get a neck crank or a rear naked choke. And the danger for Wilson is you explode into him and then you're in a head and arm triangle position.
Yeah, Linderman looked like he almost baited him. He wanted him to turn so he grabbed the head and arm choke, but being up against the cage, he doesn't have the room to kind of shift off to the far side. So, again, Wilson's savvy. I mean, he's showing that he is a 9-fight veteran, that he's been in there with tough competition, and he knows exactly what he's doing, but physicality has something to say about it, and Linderman's just got that edge all day.
This is better now from Wilson. He's creating some space. Oh, wow, Linderman just putting on a masterclass there of ground control.
The crowd sensing something's coming. Linderman looking for that rear naked choke again. 45 seconds in this round.
This cage time is invaluable to Linderman too. You know, obviously he'd prefer to electrify the crowd and find a submission or win by ground and pound, but in his young career, you know, he'd won 2 amateur fights in the first round, and now he's been in the cage for, I mean, in another 28 seconds, it's going to be 4 rounds here tonight.
Yeah, and again, I mean, he has aspirations of going professional someday, and eventually when he's fighting in the pro ranks, he'll have to fight for 15 minutes. So him being able to go out and fight this amateur fight for 15 minutes and show that he has the cardio to do so, I think is a definite step in the right direction.
And I don't know if he'll be hunting leg locks again anytime soon.
But lesson learned, and
yeah,
this is what it's all
yeah.
about, getting experience.
Well, Wilson may be reaching territory where he needs a finish to win this fight. I'm sure his corner's aware of that and will impart that upon him here as we enter round 5. FPS Combat, you know, really smaller gym, but it's really about quality over quantity. And when you've got your 2 flagship stars, Trevor Linderman and Cricket Jones, that's a nice stable of amateur fighters to put on any card. And really, if Linderman can just implement the same game plan for another 3 minutes, he will be leaving Aries 30 with gold around his waist. It's really a matter of not slipping on the banana peel, minding his P's and Q's, because at this point you would assume Wilson probably needs a finish.
Yeah, I would definitely assume that Wilson needs a finish. That's not lost on him. I'm sure he's going to come out here and give it the best he's got. But what he has shown so far is that he has an inability to get back up when Trevor Linderman gets on top. So essentially one takedown could just decide this. It's up to Linderman if he wants to do it right away or if he wants to land a couple chopping leg kicks first.
Heavyweight champion, give him hell, boys!
All right, round 5 underway. Ooh, and Linderman starts with a barrage of strikes, right in on a single leg. Secures the takedown, and it could be academic from here unless Wilson's able to scramble.
Yeah, I mean, he looked briefly for the guillotine choke, but if it didn't work in the first round or the second round when you were fresh, when you're tired and exerted and there's a lot of sweat, it probably unlikely. You got to give him credit. You know, he's trying to get himself a fight-ending move, but Linderman's just not offering him anything.
Ooh, Linderman with a hammer fist right there that resonated throughout the jaw.
Linderman kind of on a half. Don't drop on the leg lock. Okay. Yeah, no, he knows better. Trevor's fighting a good fight. Like you said, banana peel aside, this is all he's got to do is just sink back into the guard, melt like cheese on top of him, give him no space.
Yeah, Linderman's corner's calling for more strikes here. Almost, to heck with the submission, so to speak. Just impart some damage and salt away what is a very likely victory for yourself.
Yeah, and it's hard to open up. The more damage you try to do, the more you're throwing punches. The more you're throwing punches, the more space there is. It allows Wilson to scramble. This right here, there's no strikes happening, but you're really glued to him. You're not giving him any space. Wilson's shown he can defend rear naked chokes very well, and I do expect him to probably defend this series of attempts. But again, he's not doing himself any favors in terms of winning this fight as much as he's just losing ground time, losing position, and eventually losing the fight. And all good stuff for Linderman, because the next time you see him, he'll be a little bit better on the back and a little bit better on the back. He can get these positions. And once they really drill into him, high-level ground game, high-level jiu-jitsu, these arm triangles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, look how strong this, and it's tight.
He might end the fight
yeah,
with this.
I think he will. That's tight, and he's passed to the side. He needs to just sink his hips into the mat. Sink his hips down low. Oh, and now that he's really tightening this thing.
What a way to put a stamp on a victory here if you're Linderman. He could be hunting a round 5 finish. We've got about 40 seconds left to work.
He needs to tick like a clock and just kind of get that angle, but Wilson doing everything right. See, he's got space, his chin's under it, and he's just staying relaxed. Linderman eventually bails on it, but with 30 seconds left, the damage is going to start coming. He knows, okay, the fight's almost over. Might as well finish with a point. And right here, he's going to look to, Wilson might get
off. Yeah,
he's
in danger of falling off.
He did too. No quitting Wilson. No. Too little, too late, but I mean, at no point did this man quit on himself. It's just, it was a very tough stylistical match for him.
Well said.
And who's putting the exclamation point now? The guy that lost the majority of the fight, still in it.
Well, a couple of warriors, no doubt. Trevor Linderman and Colin Wilson goes the distance here. It's going to hit the judges' scorecards. Linderman, I think, learned some valuable lessons. And Wilson, like I said, he had 5 fights last year in a variety of weight classes. And actually, if you go on Tapology, it looks like he's got another fight booked for after this one. I don't know if that's going to still materialize. He did mitigate the damage pretty well, but this was a 5-round war.
Yeah, I mean, you saw after the fight, he got up right away and just kind of walked back to his corner. Physically, it doesn't look like there's any damage. He's going to be sore tomorrow morning, no doubt about that. But overall, I think he's healthy. He stepped up to a big, tough fight today, and I just want to give absolute kudos to him. I do strongly believe Colin Wilson, who's fought at 175 pounds, could make 185 pounds at the very least. Instead, he chose to give up 5 on the scale, probably closer to 10, 15 right now.
Yeah.
He gave up a ton of size, fought a much bigger man, got tossed around by the much bigger man, and still had tons of moments. Put this guy in the class that he fits in, he's going to be a big problem for a lot of guys.
He showed some true skill. In all likelihood, though, Frankie's Body Shop's got some new hardware to display come Sunday morning in the form of the Aries Fight Series light heavyweight amateur title. And I think it's dawning on Trevor that he has accomplished his goal. Here you hear the crowd start to erupt, showing appreciation for the effort that Linderman just put forth. Lance Green making his rounds, getting the judges' scorecards. This was our final amateur bout of the evening. After this one, we move into the pro ranks. It will be 5-minute rounds. Our first bout of the evening in the pro ranks will feature Helico Mike Davis taking on... Oh, hold on 1 second. Helico Mike Davis versus
Douglas.
Jonathan Wade. Yes, yeah, Mike Davis. Wonderful. Michael Douglas, the famous actor. In all seriousness, Michael Douglas versus Wicked Jonathan Wade. Coming up next, our first pro contest of the evening. Lance Green has got the judges' scorecards. We will find out who takes this one home between Wilson and Linderman.
Ladies and gentlemen, following 5 grueling rounds, this decision has gone to your judges' scorecard. First judge, some say, sees this, 50-45. Justin Watson sees it, 50-45. Judge Josh Amato sees it, 48-47. All in favor of and by unanimous decision. And